Africa. Well, guess what? It's story time. So, before I start this story, let me give you a little bit of a background. Alright, so this was a big birthday for me. Alright, big 4-5. And I only have been planning this since I was probably like 8. Okay, so there's that, right? So growing up with people, many people my age, we watched what was called National Geographic. And Kenya has always been on my radar ever since then for about 40 years now. So, of course, this was a big trip for me, right? I remember sitting watching National Geographic as a kid, telling my parents, I'm going to go to Kenya one day. I'm going to go to Kenya one day. And sure enough, about 2 years ago, about a year and a half or so ago, that dream was about to come true. Okay. Now, and I only really have been watching this woman for maybe 5 years prior to my year and a half ago. Yeah, that's how long it takes for me to decide whether or not I want to patronize your business. Especially for something as life-altering as a dream of yours since a kid. So I finally decided to reach out and have this lady plan or do this group trip with this particular lady that I have been studying for 5 years now. Okay, so now here comes the planning part, right? I schedule a time to speak to the lady and tell her what I'm looking for. Now, Kenya has always been on my radar. However, originally I wanted this trip to be to the west coast of Africa and not the east coast. Okay, so the way I wanted it to be to Ghana, Togo, and Benin, all in that area. And somehow she talked me into Kenya. So actually, I won't say she talked me into it. Kenya has always been on my radar, as I stated before. So, the selling point for me to go to Kenya was she told me that during December, it is the hot time for the West Coast. So that's what made me decide on going to the East Coast. So the decision was made that I would go to the East Coast as opposed to the West Coast and visit Kenya, which, once again, let me reiterate, has been a dream of mine since I was about 8 years old, so about 40 years. Now, this is all the consultation part of this story. All right, so we spoke, we talked about it. She hadn't even booked or planned, literally like planned the trip as of yet. But I did tell her that I was interested in going, that I wanted to go, that I needed to be on the motherland's soil when I turned 45. And she was totally for that. And she said, yes, that's going to happen. You're going to have a great time. So you're probably thinking to yourself, well, if she hadn't even set up the itinerary yet to know where you were going within this trip, why would you continue to book? That is simple. That is a simple question. Now, like I previously said, I've been watching this woman for about 5 years. So I knew that she curated tours to Africa. That was her specialty. And since it was her specialty, I believe that she will pull through. I mean, she practically lives in Africa. So why wouldn't I think that she'd get it together? So now it's time to drop the deposit. Excited was not a great descriptive word, but deposit was time to be dropped, I did it without a problem. Didn't hesitate one bit. There was no hesitation on me dropping that deposit on my part because I'm getting ready to go to Kenya in about a year. So deposit is dropped. We are in our information group and getting information. And closer that it got to time to go on this trip. Once we got out of the messenger group into the WhatsApp group, I should have known. I should have known it was going to be some bullshit. I should have known. One of the first issues that I remember is when it came time for visa. Now, for Kenya, they do an e-visa, which means that they do it all online. Okay? I have never traveled somewhere that I needed an e-visa. All online. I'm a pretty tech-savvy person. I know I'm pretty tech-savvy for the age of 45. So I was having difficulties with the e-visa. And of course, I reach out to my tour guide. Dismissive is the word that comes to mind. In so many words, this lady had the audacity to say, it is not that hard. Now, of course, once again, I'm pretty tech savvy. I can figure things out. Now, this is so close to us departing. It's like a month and a half, 2 months before we even leave, that I have to get this visa together. So, of course, I am a little pissed. After I was dismissed, I had to put it down. I was like, okay, I got enough time. I put it down. And here's the thing. Here's the kicker. I wasn't the only one. Even the youngins in the group was having problems with the e-visa. So, your girl has a little research time, so I'm researching. Now, mind you, I have a little insider benefits that other people within our group don't know about. We'll get to that a little bit later. You know what? I said that I should have known that there was going to be a problem when she was dismissive on the e-visa. I take that back. I should have known that there was going to be a problem when she would dismiss others within the group. Now, mind you, this is a group of 30. Who the hell wants to scroll all the way back to see an answer to a question? Her response to many of the things that she probably had answered before was, per the document, per previously stated. So I finally got the e-visa uploaded and sent to Kenya. And I was approved for my visa. Okay, so once I got that together, I was like, yes. The excitement really started setting in. And even though she was pretty dismissive towards everyone within the group that was going, mind you, this is 30 plus people that are going. I was like, okay, yes, I got everything together. Questions that I had about, well, not me, questions that people had about converters, dismissed. But anywho, that is the word that we're going to continue to say, dismissed. All right, so everything is together. I'm getting packed, and it's time to go on the trip. Okay, so about 3 days before the trip, there was a lady that asked a question within the group, and our tour guide really didn't even answer the question. So other people within the group had to answer the question for this lady. And once I got to the place to where we were going, I found out that this was an older lady. And that's besides the point, honestly, that it was an older lady. If you are in business, you have got to cater to your clients. Coming from a business person, why would you not even acknowledge that they have a question? Why would you just shoo their question under the rug? So, yeah. But now here comes the nitty gritty of this story. So, oh, here's a bit of the story that I forgot to tell you that is going to come in handy later on in the story. So, even though I am the great old age of 45 now, I had to put together a packet for my parents, my husband, and my daughter. That package was to include all of my information, travel information, and where I am going, how long I will be there, as well as like my passport, copy of the visa. So keep that in mind until later on in this story. So now you know some backstory on this trip, the planning of this trip, and the keyword dismissive. So let's go ahead and travel to the first day of this trip. First day that I got there, hotel was beautiful. We went to what's called the Tamarind. Hopefully I'll be able to link a video either here or here, or if not, I'll put it down below. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, once again, this lady curates nothing but trips for diaspora to the motherland, and also she does like Africa and South America, but primarily the motherland. So in the way that she curates, she gives you a sense of like a local and also like a tourist. All right, so her itinerary really did that per the paper itinerary. Keep in mind, paper itinerary. So I made it to the hotel without a problem. It is called the Tamarind, and everything was great. Now, here's the thing. I traveled alone. I didn't have a partner with me, so I had to room with someone. My roomie was already there, so I get into the room. There are 2 beds. Remember, there are 2 beds. All right, so I get into the room. Everything is, great. Lounge day for the first day. Second day, she had a red theme party, or a welcoming dinner, where everyone was to either wear red and or black. All right, great, wonderful. The next day after that, we were to leave to go to the Masai Mara tribe. Now, Kenya had been on my radar since I was a kid. That was one of the things that I remembered as a child watching National Geographic, is watching the Masai Mara in their village, doing their thing. And that was one of the things that sparked me at that very young age of 8 years old to say, I'm going to go to Kenya and I am going to see that. So I was totally excited about that next part of the trip. Okay, so we make it to the Maasai tribe after about 6+ hours of a deep tissue massage in that Jeep. Whew. Actually, no, it was probably about 1.5 hours worth of bumps and all that great stuff. So we finally make it to the Maasai tribe. Now, if you know anything about me, you know that I don't mind getting in with the locals when I'm traveling. I love to travel as a local, and also I love to I love to immerse myself as a local, and also do as a tourist. Okay, so the Maasai tribe, we're doing the local stuff. All right, so excited about it. I can't really stress that enough. So finally make it to the Maasai tribe, and we immerse ourselves into the village of the Maasai. So let me show you guys a little bit of what I experienced about that. This part of the trip was the top. This was the best part of the entire trip. I knew that once I got to Africa, I was going to drop some tears. When that was going to happen, you know, it was totally up to a higher being. But at that moment, when I saw the Maasai, that is when I dropped my tears. So check out what that experience was like.
Wow. I got good knees. Yeah.
That was amazing, right? Now that you've got a little taste of the experience that I had with the Maasai tribe, take a look at my accommodations, which I really enjoyed also, because it kind of once again immersed me into the field of a local, but not too locally. So take a look. And we made it to our tent. We are in Kanga. And this is, let me go back. This is what our view looks like outside of our tent. And there's my sleeping quarters back there for tonight. So let's go inside. All right. This is our sleeping quarters for tonight. Gotta make sure I close this up. Don't need too many mosquito bites. Alrighty. So there we go there. And we have the traditional sukas on our bed. I told my Gia Joa, which is my roommate, that I should sleep well tonight, honey, because it's going to get cool. Yeah, so your girl can have quite a few private summers. So, yeah. But, yeah, before we go to bed, I don't know if you guys saw that, we are to put down these mosquito nets. So, yeah. And tonight, we have a Maasai dinner. Well, we have a dinner with the Maasai tribe. That was pretty cool, right? So not only did we get a welcome from the Maasai tribe, we also did a game drive, or what some people would say a safari, which was also part of the top things that I wanted to do. And we saw tons of animals. However, the key point, or not even the key point, the highlight of that game drive was when we got the opportunity to see a pride of lions hunting a buffalo. So check out some of the animals that we saw along the way on this particular game drive.
I've seen one that close before. Close enough too.
Yes. The greatest, you can never see it in the south of the equator. You only see it in the north of the equator. Huko kumefungwa kwa hivyo ukipata hapa utashuhudiwa sana. Yeah, we have the left.
Hello, beautiful.
We have Maasai.
So now it was time for us to go back, actually to go to our next destination, which was supposed to have been a 5-star resort where we get to relax and do nothing, do spa days, and great things like that. So after a go type of part of my vacation, I was definitely looking forward to this part of the vacation. All right. Now, mind you, we had to do that 6-hour drive outside of the Maasai, which included an hour and a half of bumpy roads. So being cramped up in a Land Rover for all day doing the South Safari, which I'll do again, and then having to get out of there to get to our next destination, which we had to get on a train to go to Mombasa. Okay, so all of that, I was looking forward to doing nothing in this 5-star resort per her itinerary. And per the itinerary that I made copies of and gave to my family, since I was traveling alone to a country pretty much across the world from mine. So yeah, 5-star. So like I said, we get to our resort, and of course we were late getting there because our tour guide was never punctual at any of the events that she curated. She was always late. So we finally get there, and we're late. And at the time that we get there, we were supposed to do a white and gold party. This is on New Year's Eve night. So I had booked to get my makeup done, right? Makeup artists are already there, ready to get started. And they had about 11 ladies to do. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and get my makeup. So I washed my face, found the makeup artist, and get my makeup done. Now, when I walked into that building, I should have known that it was getting ready to be not what she said. So at this point, now you know that punctuality and being dismissive is all characteristics of this particular tour guide. So after I've gotten my makeup done, I get to my room. Now remember, I traveled alone and I am rooming with someone. Walk into the room and there is one full-size bed. Yes, and the saga continues. So the fact that there was only one full-size bed in the room, it did bother me, but not so much. By this time, I'm so tired, so exhausted. I'm still really looking forward to the amenities of this particular resort. But this is prior to me actually doing a roundabout of our room. Now, she's still trying to check people in, and the people downstairs says that they will bring us another bed. So I'm thinking they're gonna bring another bed. So they're gonna bring another full-size bed. The room was big enough for another full-size bed. However, the way that it was laid out, probably not so much. So I'm asking my roommate, I'm like, so what they gonna do? They gonna bring 2 twin-size beds and take this full-size out? Which I'm fine with. All right, so we have no idea at this point. Now let me tell you a little bit about Africa. Rushing is definitely not on the top of their agenda, which I can dig it. Okay, so I'm getting ready for. Actually, I sit down because I'm so exhausted, so tired. And in Mombasa, it was hot. It was very, very humid. So I'm trying to keep my makeup on, and I sit down. Now, the morning of when we were leaving the Maasai tribe, this particular morning, my stomach was not doing well. So I get up to go use the bathroom. Honey, I walk into that damn bathroom and I thought I was going to shit a cow. Horrible. 5-star. Remember? 5-star. This was not even a 2-star resort. Number 1, our toilet was broken. Number 2, it was so humid there because it's body cold, so humid that the wood in the bathroom was molded, mildew, or whatever you want to call it. From what I take from the humidity of the area, and also the fact that they have not done any type of upgrades or anything. So like I said, our toilet is broken, will not flush, stomach toe up. So I used the bathroom, we called the plumber, and they supposedly fixed it. Not so much. So actually that didn't happen until the following day. Come on. So that didn't happen until the following day. But I'm getting ready. I look into the shower. Come here. Okay. So I look into the shower, right? I look into the shower and here, pacifier. I look into the shower and the shower head was just as bad as the toilet. Just as bad as the toilet. By this point, I was so fucking irate. I was so freaking irate that I didn't know what to do. So, of course, I go to the chat, which we have been talking in the whole flash flood warning. So I go into the chat and I very respectfully tell the people in the chat that this is not a 5-star resort. I was expected to be at this resort. This is not 5-star. And now at the beginning of this particular video, I told you guys that I had insider information. So at the time, I was a travel agent. I am a travel agent. So I knew that this wasn't a 5-star resort, even outside of the U.S. standards. This wasn't 5-star resort. This was barely even a 2-star. Okay, so I let the people know this is not 5-star. My family is expect that I am supposed to be in another place. You should have given people the option to come to this resort if this is all that you could find. You know, very, very respectful. I did not disrespect her at all. Now, prior to me getting to the chat and putting in my comment, there were other people who were complaining. One lady had so much black mold that it was not even funny. And the nightstands were peeling up. And her bathroom was even more horrible than mine. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is 5-star. I was looking so very forward to relaxing in a nice place, sitting by the poolside, going swimming, all that great stuff. So I put my thing in the chat and I commenced to try to cool off and get myself together for the event for the night. And I went back to the chat to ask a question or something, and I noticed that the ladies' pictures that put in there before me were deleted, and my chat was deleted. Dismissive, remember? Dismissive. Yes, you doggone right. I was highly perturbed at this point. And but I continued. I was like, all right, whatever. By this point, I was like, whatever. You know what? I just know to not tell any of my people who were waiting for me to get back. I had about 10, 15 people who were like, when you come back, give me the information for this particular group, this lady. So by this point, I had already made my decision that, no, there is no way in hell that I will allow any of my peeps to spend their money with this lady, because customer service, integrity, and all that great stuff, she lacked very, very bad. So I was mad, to say the least. At this point, I am reaching out to my family via WhatsApp, telling them, hey, look, this is where I'm at. I know the itinerary says that I'm supposed to be here. This is where I'm at. Look it up. And, my family was on 10. When I say they were on 10, if they could have got there in a matter of hours, they'd have been there in a matter of hours. So I give them the information. I'm like, all right, so this is where I'm at. I'm really, really pissed and all this. But I did end up giving them the information. Get downstairs. Dress, get downstairs, makeup all done. And this lady wants to talk. I'm cool with it as long as you talk to me as an adult. Mind you, I'm 45 years old. I'm not a child. And 15 years ago, Sheree Divine, it wouldn't have been no talking. Me thinking that she wants to talk about whatever I put in the chat. Like I said, I was not disrespectful. I didn't come off aggressive or anything. And so I walk over to her. I say yes. And she says, you put something in the chat that was inappropriate. Excuse me? I put in the chat that letting the people know that this is not 5-star and that we were all expected to be somewhere else, which I quoted that particular place. And this is not that. Well, if you look back, now this is how she's talking. Well, if you look back at the chat, I actually upgraded you guys. Excuse me? Once again, I have insider information. I knew that this was not a 5-star resort. So I'm like, you upgraded from a 5-star resort? You can't. This is not an upgrade. I upgrade. Do you want me to show it to you? First off, quit speaking to me as I'm your child. I am not your child. Secondly, if you want to talk to me, you're going to speak to me as an adult. And this is not a 5-star resort. This is not an upgrade. And you're not going to tell me different. This is an upgrade. This is an upgrade. I can show you that this is... Customer service. Integrity. She lacked all of that. All of that. Now, if you are a business owner, you know that the meat or the protein on the plate are the things that you need. Meaning, repeat customers and customers that they bring. You need them to stay in business. So my appropriate chat that I put in that you dismissed is now gone. You knew that it was not inappropriate. You were upset because I was letting the people know that outside of U.S. standards, this is still not a 5-star resort. And I was letting the people know that I know that because I'm a travel agent. Now, mind you, I am a travel agent. I don't specialize in Africa, but I do my due diligence to do research and to educate myself on things as such. So, so she continued to speak to me, tried to speak to me as I was a child, my big grown 45-year-old self. The best thing for me to do at that point was to walk away. Otherwise, I would have been locked up abroad. I would have been locked up abroad. And one of the stipulations for me to go on this trip alone by my husband was, make sure you come back to me. So anytime something was going on in my head, I was thinking, make sure I make it back to my husband. Make sure you make it back. So I walk away. That really, really jumped on her nerves. Oh, you're gonna walk away. Now, I'm telling you, she is making a scene. Oh, you're gonna walk away. How you gonna walk away from me? Easy. I'm not your child. You will not speak to me this way. My husband don't speak to me this way. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna let a grown woman or anyone else speak to me this way. So I turn and I walk away. At this point, I was done. Finish. So this is the white party, okay? This is the white and gold party, on New Year's Eve. Now, mind you, I told you she's never on time. She was not on time to this. We get downstairs and we're supposed to have a designated area for our group of 30. Get downstairs to the beach. There's not a designated area for our 30 people. We had to mingle with all the others. I would have been okay with that. But there were no tables. So of course, when she decides to get down to where everyone is at, and let me tell you, we get down there, we were supposed to have dinner, get down there, food is pretty much gone. There are no tables to sit. Now, one thing that I did not like was that there were children there. Okay, whatever. But there was nowhere to sit, so I'm down here in my all whites. And in my white and gold head wrap, crown, sweating my bejesus off. Okay with that, because I love tropical weather. But there's nowhere to sit. But this is your 5-star resort. This is the resort that we're supposed to not do anything. Relax. We can't even get food on the first night. The saga continues. By this point, there's really nothing that she could have done to rectify the issue outside of apologizing for being dismissive, not having the integrity that you should have as a business owner, and trying to make things right the best way that you can. Like I said before, the meat and the protein on the plate are always needed. And I consider all my clients the meat and the protein, especially new clients, returning clients, and those that they refer, which is pretty much everyone. So this lady lost a ton of revenue that she could have had just by simply apologizing that, okay, my scouts didn't do as I thought. I didn't follow up as I should. Just little small things like that. And then for you to speak to your clients as though they are a child, that is never, ever okay. So, yeah, at this point, there was really nothing that she could have done to rectify my dissatisfaction that I had with this 5-star resort, which was not a 5-star resort. I stand on that. This was not a 5-star resort. And for you to continue to try to preach that just let you know that you were not here really for the people. You weren't. What I think she was really here for was the money. I mean, this lady made at least $70,000 on, if she just counted 25 people. And that is outside of the people that had to pay extra for the single supplement. So she made at least $70,000, or at least that's how much money was transacted to her. So I really think that she was here for the money, and that she was here for the views. So from here on out, I will be very, very leery of group travel. I mean, I never saw this coming. It was a blind side to me. Like I said, I was studying her for 5+ years because I knew that this was going to be a big trip for me. It was something that I really wanted to do. So I was really, really fooled. But yeah, if I could have pulled out sooner when I started seeing those red flags, I would have. So my, what I suggest that you do is, as soon as those red flags start coming, listen to them. Listen to them. Before the trolls come and have something to say, or the family members that may see this video, or maybe even the ass kissers of this lady. Yes, I am absolutely grateful for every bit of abundance that I have in life. But this should not have been a lesson for abundance. I have never traveled to a place and utilize my abundance as a step above the local people or anyone from there. I really try to immerse myself within specific countries as a local, which I feel like we did on the second part of the trip, which was at the Maasai tribe. But when you sell your product as one thing, but you deliver another, that is fraud. Fraud. I don't care how you look at it, that is fraud. So yes, I am absolutely thankful for the abundance that I have. But I was not expecting to be fraudulently taken advantage of. If you made it this far in the video, you made it to the end. So you may as well go ahead and subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell and leave me a comment down below on if you've ever experienced anything like this, or what you think I could have done different. Because like I say, this was really a blindside smack in the face to me. So yeah, go ahead, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. All in all, this was definitely an experience from me that I would not change. However, if I could change just the last little bit, I would, but I take it as an experience, as a learning experience. I definitely learned some things about myself. I learned some things about other business owners or people that call themselves business owners. So I did learn some valuable lessons on taking this trip to Kenya on my big 4-5 birthday. I will definitely go back. However, I will never utilize that lady again. I probably will just curate something myself, or maybe even go somewhere to like 888. But she will never get another dime of my money. And if I can help it, none of my peeps, family, friends, and even foes, I would not patronize this business ever again. So leave your comments down below on any similar lessons that you may have had that you took away as a positive. All right, until next video.